Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Will Patterson here again, and today I'm going to be showing you a tutorial all about Procreate. This video is brought to you by DotSpace. Now, if you have an iPad Pro and you have an Apple Pencil, then Procreate is going to be your best friend when it comes to drawing, because I normally draw on paper, and I still draw on paper, but Procreate for the 12.9-inch iPad Pro is amazing, and it's just like an amazing drawing experience. So I'm going to show you around Procreate a little bit. So Procreate right here is basically an app for drawing, and that's all it is. So right here, when we open up, you'll see that we have a bunch of these documents, and we have some sample documents just here, like this thing called Crash Landing, which someone's painted. And you can do so much in Procreate, it's unbelievable. But I'm going to take you through this so I can show you exactly what to do to get started in Procreate for hand lettering, which is what I specialize in, and it's what I do. But I did not create this, someone else created this. And it's like a sample feature when you get Procreate, and it's only like £6. It's pretty cheap, so go ahead and get it, and let's go through it together. So the first thing is I've created a folder, and this is basically where all my hand lettering lives on my iPad, and you'll see a lot of it on Instagram, and I do a lot of it on my iPad because it's amazing. And you have to have the iPad and an Apple Pencil to get the full capabilities out of this, but you can still get this for the iPhone or get it for whatever. But once you've bought it, you've bought it. So there you go. So I'm just going and flicking through here. But if we want to create a new document, we just go press this little plus arrow here, which will give us the create document dialog box. And there's a bunch of different presets. Now we can go through them all, choose a screen size, choose square, 4K, A4, or we can even just create a new canvas size right here, but we don't have to. I'm just going to click on screen size, and as you'll see, this pops up like this. Now, the first thing you need to realize is this is the artboard or the canvas area, and we can move around it by twisting and doing all these nice things with it, and it's a good thing to have. The next thing we need to make sure of, or need to understand, is these sidebar bits down here. Now, these sidebar bits are actually the opacity and the size of the brush, because if you don't know already, Procreate is a lot like Photoshop. It uses brushes to create stuff, and that is how the pencil works, and everything inside Procreate is driven by brushes, which you can find up here. Now, on the right hand side of your iPad is a bunch of tools and stuff, and this is the brush tool. When we click on it, we can choose our brushes. There are loads of brushes to choose from. You can go to sketching, to inking, to painting, to artistic, airbrushing. But that is not only the cool thing. The cool thing is that we can create our own and share them with other people. So over here, I've got my own brushes here, and these are all the ones that I've created. And when we click on it, it'll select that brush. But if we click on it again, you'll see that we get all these brush settings, just like in Photoshop or any other sort of drawing software. We can choose a lot of the variants and different things in this sort of dialog box. Now, the cool thing about Procreate is that there's a lot of things that you can change. There's a lot of stuff inside of this dialog box, such as spacing, streamline, jitter, and that's only the stroke options. And it goes all the way down to the source of the brush, which you can create yourself in like the iPad, or you can create it in Photoshop or Illustrator, bring it in and choose it. You can also choose your grain source and everything on here, including things, how the Apple Pencil is related to this brush. It's all in this app. So it's pretty much dead set, pretty cool, and I like it. And that's why a lot of people use it. So those are the brush areas, but what about when we go to the eraser? Well, the eraser is basically the same. You just click on it again to choose which brush, and there are the exact same brushes there. So I always go for, when I'm erasing stuff in drawing, I just go for the same technical pencil to keep with the same grain. And you can create your own pencils and all sorts of stuff inside of Procreate. Over here, the Smudge Tool in the middle, and you use another brush for that as well. And this basically means that you can smudge certain things when you're painting. And on the right here, just before the color wheel, we have the layers over here, and these layers are pretty damn fine. You just basically create them all. You can merge them by bringing them together or tapping on the layer itself, and you get a bunch of different things like rename, select, copy, fill, clear, reference, and merge down. So we get a bunch of these different things. We can also select a bunch of layers at once by dragging to the right over here and selecting them. And we can also put them into a group of its own. We can also delete the group. And that is how grouping and layers work within Procreate. But there's also other things that we can do inside of this, which is pretty damn cool. I can go up to the settings up here and we have actions. You know, this is the actions part. We can insert photos. We can change the canvas. We can share this. We can actually create a video recording of our screen or broadcast live. We can also add different devices like different styluses. And we also have a bunch of different preferences, such as a light interface, which is pretty damn cool, right? Have you seen that? Now we have everything in a light interface, or a dark one. We also have a help section here. So now that I've told you a bit about the app here, there's a lot more to it than that. We've also got selection and transform, but we're going to go ahead and do some drawing now. So clicking over here, we have a Clover Wheel where we can select certain swatches and have different groups of different swatches as well, like different palettes and stuff like that. We can also choose color values if you want to. So it's got everything inside of here. So you're pretty much set to go when you're on Procreate. But I'm going to choose a black thing right here. And this black color is going to be in a pencil, if I can find a pencil, technical pencil, brilliant. My sizing over here gives me a little preview of the sizing. I'm going to make it quite big. And as you can see here, we're drawing within Procreate. Now Procreate is pretty cool because we get the idea of drawing normally, but it actually mimics it really well. And I bet you're hearing a bit of a rough texture on my screen, and that's probably because I've got a matte screen protector there. And I use that to protect the screen, but also so it gives me a bit of drag on the pencil or a bit of tooth on the pencil as well. So it feels more like paper and my arm isn't like sticking to the screen, and so it moves freely on the screen as well. Inside of Procreate we have a bunch of different stuff, sort of like pressure sensitivity, so we can like draw really lightly, or you know, whatever we want to do here, like shade really lightly. But we can also draw really hard to get those hard edges and stuff like that. And we can go from anywhere in between as well when we're shading, like so. Because we're doing hand lettering, there's a few things that you can do on here to make life a lot easier. The first thing is to get a grid up. Now I have an image of a grid which I'll link down below, which is basically like a PNG grid, so it's transparent. And I basically import it in and I scale it up and I change the opacity in the blending options down here, just so it's down quite low, but we can see it still. And then I create a new layer above it, above that grid, by just pressing this plus button. And now I'm drawing above the actual grid itself, where we can turn it off if we want to. This helps us keep everything horizontal and vertical when we're actually drawing, so we can have a clean experience vectorizing it or making sure everything is just in line. So I'm going to just draw for you like a really simple piece of hand lettering. I'm just going to write hey, and then we'll just see what happens, because I'm going to do this in literally condensed block capitals. And using Procreate is a lot easier than what people think. The transition isn't hard at all. Basically you can zoom in and do all sorts of different things with it and create some really quick lettering inside of here. And this is how I normally do it as well, which is like pretty cool for Instagram, seeing how you don't need to scan it in or do anything like that. You can actually copy paste things and move things around in Procreate too. And if you're a painter, this works really well as if you're just drawing stuff. But Procreate does help you create some pretty cool and decent works, especially for the lettering side of stuff. I really do enjoy it. Now you can see here I'm being really rough with my lettering, so it's like using a really blunt pencil here. I'm going really hard, and that's because we're able to change things later down the line. Which makes it a lot easier than using paper, because we can rub stuff out and it won't be left there, and we can be really as sketchy as we want to at first till we get the exact thing that we need to get. So I'm just doing this just to show you how easy it is just to do even these block capitals, which is very quick. So now that we've done that, what we can do is duplicate that to protect that layer. But what I like to do over the top of these things is use a different brush, like an artistic wet acrylic brush, and then just go over it like so. And this adds really cool texture to it when we're painting or drawing on top of it. So for the majority of it, I'll just go over the top, and you'll see how messy it is, but how cool it will look in the end with the textured look of this. And this is one of the cool things about the iPad Pro and hand lettering. It's really a decent thing to get. As well as that, it's great for calligraphy as well, if you know how to do calligraphy, brush, or however you do it, because you can create your own nibs basically for free. You can also sell them if you've created your own. It's just a very versatile piece of kit. So now that I've done the basics of that, what I can do is quickly, we can either refine this a little bit by, deleting certain areas by going to the eraser panel and choosing the pencil again, which will keep the grain off the pencil. So we can go ahead and do this. Clean it up a little bit, and things start to change massively once you start cleaning it up. And we can also choose the pencil again and just refine some of these areas that need to be filled in a little bit. You see how quick and easy this is within Procreate to do stuff. But it's not just about the quick and easiness of it, it's all about the experience that you have with it. And it's pretty much flawless for me at the minute to use apps like Procreate and Adobe Sketch, because it makes things really, really easy to do when you're traveling, but also just the experience that you have with it. The pencil just feels like a normal pencil after a while. You see how quick and easy it is just to transform or change the brush to a rubber or a razor. You see here, we just go here to change this part. I know it's not perfect, but I just wanted to give you a quick demonstration. And there's a bunch more videos on my channel that you can check out if you don't know already about brush lettering and hand lettering as well. But there you go, and now we can actually go ahead and change this, duplicate it, transform it, and do whatever we need to do with it. I'm just going to put this in the middle, like so. And it makes things a heck of a lot easier when we're working within Procreate. But we can also change the colors of these things as well. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to my layers panel, click on my layer here, and I've got a swatch set up for this. So I'm going to go to blue, and then I'm going to go here on my color wheel, select orange. Then I'm going to make sure I'm on the layer that I want to change the color of. Go to adjustments, recolor, drag that to here. And there we go. We've got a nice color. And of course, get rid of the grid in the end to give us like this really nice look right there. I'm not too sure how to get rid of the screen at this moment in time. I think it used to be 4 fingers. Oh, there you go. So there you go. You can see we've got that just there for the iPad Pro to show you how to do hand lettering. So if you enjoyed the video, then leave a like and subscribe if you want to. This video is sponsored by .space domain, so make sure you go check out the link in the description below. And if you want some more hand lettering videos on Procreate, then subscribe, like, and share this with your friends, and I'll come out with some more videos about it. Leave your questions down below, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you soon.